everyone, welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. I have with us today a director. He has a movie that's coming out first quarter next year, I believe. And I've seen the trailer. It looks amazing, and it's called Peekaboo. I have with us today Brian. You,
Yeah.
Otolescu. Brian, how do you pronounce your last name? I'm sorry, man. I had it in my head, and this is when
No, it's all right. It's Ustashevsky.
Yushevsky.
Yes, sir.
Brian, welcome to the Horror Room.
Oh, thank you for having me, Travis. I'm happy to I'm actually really happy to be here. I wasn't able to come last time when you had Brad Case on. I wasn't able to come on and actually join him with that chat, but I'm really happy I'm able to come on with my own now.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad. Brad's an amazing guy. He's actually coming back on soon.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, I know he's got a couple other things in works, and I've been talking to him. And we got some other stuff later down the road we've been talking about. So we work together. I did a lot of audio and stuff for that for all Scribbles from the Crypt and stuff too. So got all that down there, and we got that out and released, and it's really good stuff.
And it won the Horror Realm Awards 2023 for Best Anthology. So.
I know. I was watching, and I said, "Whoa, we won, dude! That's amazing! Yeah, it was awesome.
I loved it." So tell us a little bit about Peekaboo.
All right. So, okay. This is based off, we all like watching TikTok and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. So I was sitting there and strolling with the old, with the wife, and we were sitting there just watching stuff. And she was like, "Babe, you gotta start following these TikTok trends and stuff." I'm like, "All right, blah, blah, blah. Okay." So I started scrolling some of the not so nice side of TikTok. And I was like, "Oh man, dude!" Like I was watching these cam videos of like these people, like the crazy people knocking on doors and ringing the doorbells, and they're looking all crazy, So I was like, "Hey, I got a killer idea for a film!" Bam! It popped in my head, literally just like that, and I was like, "All right, I got this idea." So I wrote down the script, and I was like, "All right, okay, let's since this is an indie budget, and it's like shoestring next to nothing," and I'm like, what can I do to make this? Because that's the hardest part of doing these. It's like you got to figure out how to write within a budget, and sometimes that's really hard to do. It's a lot harder than people actually think it is. But dude, it is. It's stupid. And you're sitting there and you're like, "All right, I'm gonna write this out." So I was like, "All right, we need one location." That's a really good starting point for any indie film, especially if you're new to making films and you want to make films. One location with minimal characters, like 3. That's it. So I was like, all right, I need an antagonist, a protagonist, and like just a random middle person to help like build a quick story real quick. So I was like, all right, how I wanted to do this too is how I wrote the story arc. I wanted it to go like a roller coaster when you're going up the hill, and then it just drops you off right at the end. That's kind of what the film does. So I was like, all right, I got this idea. I'm going to write this out. I contacted actually one of the actresses that was in Scribbles from the Crypt is actually in it because she was at the last one in the Cross the Woods. So I asked her, I was like, "Hey, you'd be perfect for this. I need you." I got her and her boyfriend back on. And I was like, "All right, cool. Here's the script." She said, "I love it. I want to be on this." And then I had to find the antagonist for the film, and I was like, I really wonder like who I can get this, because this is a dark character,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, who can I do? So I asked around the local film community around here, and I was like, "Hey, do you know anybody that can like play a darker character?" It's kind of like, it's not like real dark, but like some dark psyche stuff. And my friend I helped shoot another film with, he suggested somebody that was in his feature film, and I said, "All right, cool, yeah." I didn't even think about him because like you see him and you totally like if you met him in real life, you would not expect Bobby to be like that. He's like a real chill, laid back, quiet. I was like, "All right, cool." He came out and I handed him the script. He's like, "Man, that's dark, dude." He's like, I don't know." He's like, "I went to film school for real, but like this will really challenge me." Usually people, they bring me on and it's like this goofy character, like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, no offense to anybody, but like this actually makes me feel like I'll really have to like dig deep and do some acting. He's like, and that's what's really good about it, because he was like, I actually had he's ex-military veteran, so he was like, I actually had to channel some of that to be this character. And I was like, whoa, dude, that he was like, no, man, like it's good. So like at one point we were rolling, and he's like, "Hey, can we just cut?" Like I got into character too much. I said, "All right, man," we took 5, It was pretty cool though. Like the whole experience was cool. Shot in like over. It was supposed to be done in 1 day, but we did it in 2 days because we had a like a I don't know what's that called. We had like a conflicting, it was time confliction basically. So Bobby wasn't able to come, but I was able to get her, Kendra and Danny's. I was able to get their parts shot in the beginning because Danny wasn't anymore. He's gone. He leaves he leaves the scene and he doesn't come back. So I was like, let's just get your scenes, knock them out of the way, and then like next week when he's available, we'll just bring you back together, and then we'll just shoot the rest of the scenes. She was like, okay, cool. Happened perfect. Like I got a couple little more SFX things to do, in there, as you've probably seen, but it's like. It's right there at the end, and it's like, man, dude, this can be something pretty good. Because I showed a couple other friends of mine. They're like, dude, when are you gonna show this, dude? Like, this is great. And I was like, well, I don't know, man. Special effects take some time, especially when you do everything yourself. You score all the music and you shoot everything, and then you color grade. But yeah, it's been a pretty interesting process.
Now, it is a different concept. Which now how hard is it? I mean, especially in the indie horror industry in general, because everything's been done a billion times over. How hard was it to come up with a creative idea and be like, you know what? I've never seen this before. Let me fucking roll with this.
That it's kind of like how my mind works sometimes. I can see an everyday thing and we turn it into something because. I like to explore, the dark realms of, what goes bump in the night. And I think that inner fear everybody has, like when now tell me this, Travis, you got a basement at your house? You ever have
I'm in there right now?
you ever have all the lights off and you just look down the stairs and you're like, no, not tonight. Then you just walk back up the steps and you're like, no, there's too much lightning. And no, I don't know. I watched too many horror movies. There's like that, and you just hear that noise down in the basement. You're like, oh, maybe it's the dryer. Like, I haven't done laundry in like 2 days, man. So like, it's that primal, that primal feeling I like to tap into that gets people, like, man, dude, this could really happen. Like this is kind of crazy. And when you can bring that relevance of, normal day-to-day life into something, I think that brings an extra element that some films haven't, touched base. Because Freddy Krueger's great, Jason's great. All those films are amazing. They're of their time. They were just like they're timeless classics now. You got the slashers and all those, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love all those films. Even Last House on the Left. That's a crazy film. Most people are like, that's too much for me. But like, I watched that and I was like, dude, it's actually a really good film. It's really crazy, but it
could happen.
That's where I kind of stem that kind of feeling from. Because when I felt that, I felt sick watching that movie. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is gross. But I was like, maybe I can tone it back to make it a little more PG-13, little rated R. Because I think like even according to like the rating system that we use in the United States, it's like you get one fuck. And that's all you get for your film to be PG-13. Anything more than that, it's rated R. Like 100%. I think that's literally like the rule.
One fuck, that's it.
Yeah, literally. Like if you notice, watch what movie is that? They scored it a PG-13. It wasn't Scream, but it was a movie like that. And like the teenage girls were like, I don't give a fuck. And they like walked off screen. And you're like, oh, that's where they got to use the one cuss word. Huh? Yeah, look at that.
Now, is it hard? Is it hard? Okay, I'm gonna ask this question. Do you have a project that's sitting up on your desk right now, or somewhere hidden in the box that you were like, this is a fucking good idea, but the world is not ready for this yet?
Actually, I have a script right now. I actually have two that I really want to see get made because one's really relevant to like the times of, going into this digital age, and like how scary that really thought is. Like, just think of like, I don't know if you ever watched Adventure Time, but like I watched it with my kids a long time ago, and like they put on these virtual headsets and they're just in this world and you're like, dude, we're literally almost there. Like literally we are like there. You just live in the damn thing. And I'm like, oh God, I'm like, I just remember, waking up, putting your jeans on, bootstrapping it up and going to work and doing your thing, and making your money. And, I'm from that generation, so it's just like, get out and work and work hard. And I mean, I guess it does pay off, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a different generation. These kids are like, look, I got my Oculus, and you're seeing them doing this. And you're like, I put that thing on, man. I was like, oh God, I had to take it off. I was like, nope, not for me. But
Aren't you a little jealous though? But aren't you doing a little? I grew up in the 80s.
yeah, yeah,
Aren't you a little jealous that we didn't have all this awesome shit? I mean, can you imagine if
man,
we had the internet growing up and smartphones and
man, I don't know. I'd probably had about 30 apps made by now.
I know. I mean, think about this too. Unlimited porn. Like right now, it's porn is free now. Like
yeah,
growing up, if you wanted porn, you had to be that pervert that went inside the video store.
yeah. Go in the video store, steal one from dad or something. Yeah, it's literally true. Yeah, that's what you'd have to do.
Everything's amazing and accessible. There's nothing that's you can do anything. You order your fucking food. It's amazing. I'm like, damn, I wish I had this when I was growing up.
Yeah, I wish I had that when I was like 18. Made my life. I just called an Uber to take me to work a couple times when my car broke down when I was younger. Yeah, that'd have been great.
Yeah, I mean, the digital age is terrifying. I mean, it sounds amazing, but to make a movie about the digital age.
Yeah, it's. I kind of got the idea from actually from the Oculus for real. And I was like, wonder if there's a way that we can blend like reality and digital and put it together. And like I asked this one woman, I was like, hey, she's actually quite popular up in Michigan. She's like gaining a lot of followers and stuff on TikTok, and all her songs are good. They're blowing up. I was like, hey, I got this really cool idea. It's kind of like this e-girl, like I can't give too much of it away, but there's this e-girl and she's like trying to get her content out there, and she plays video games and blah blah blah. Later down, I can't even explain it because as soon as I do, it'll like ruin the whole thing. Because like she's just playing video games and it looks like she's a slob. She's just eating pizza, throwing pop bottles, launching them all. She just totally don't care. And like that's the best part of the whole thing. And it's like you see this real slobby like character, and you're like, oh man, dude, like this person's pretty gross here, man. Like I wonder if these people are really like this. So I asked a few people that actually like do real like hardcore online gaming. And I was like, hey, blah 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 blah. What is it like? They're like, dude, if you play tournaments and stuff, dude, like you don't leave your seat for a while, man. Like for real. I was like, oh, okay, like. Let's see. And I was like, okay, this is how they interact with people. I was like, hey, this is actually pretty good. This got something to it, And I'm like, all right, let me do a little more research here. And I'm doing a little more research. I'm like, it's actually turning into something. Okay, let's really get into this. Build out her character. I literally I made a whole fake YouTube profile for her. I made her a whole, I'm not joking. I made a whole, it's called Sherry Cherry's YouTube channel. She has super bright red hair. So like as soon as you see her, she's the main character. Like as soon as you see her, like she'll go and do that. And she'll be like, hey followers, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. This is Sherry Cherry, blah, blah, blah. This is my streaming channel, and she'll start doing her old bit. And then it'll come into her like playing video games, and people actually like pick a time and they'll be like, hey, we're doing viewers choice today, what they want to watch me stream. And somebody's like, hey, pick this game. I actually got like permission from a game company that makes a game for the Oculus, it's called Gun Raiders. And I was like, hey, blah, 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 I got this film idea. They're like, dude, that's so amazing. They're like, go to our crew and like literally go to the Discord and just tell everybody about it. And just, they'll probably all join one day and just probably kill you. But just go ahead and because you can record at 60 frames a second, And I was like, hey, this is pretty good here. And I was like, I could just show in-game footage of playing and then just have her doing this, do and like shooting these people. Mm-hmm. And like somebody goes and it's called 3 knocks. And I don't know if you know any history about if there's a lore about hearing 3 knocks on your door. Have you ever heard anything about that?
No.
Okay, there's a lore about that, and this is a real one. You can look it up. That if you hear someone knocking at your door and no one's there, don't answer it, because usually it's like the knock of death. So, and I have a lot of symbolism in there too, you know, like in the Eastern cultures, you know, like in Japan and all that, if this number four is a bad number. Not like here, four is whatever, don't matter to us here, but over there, so like on a clock, you see 444. And every time you hear someone knock, it's called three knocks because the three knocks. So, long story short, she'll hear like, she'll be like, who the hell's at my door? Go away, man. You know, like the pizza guy's first there. She's like, oh, my pizza's here. Do. It's a setup, you know? And then she hears back at her door. She's like, all right, man, go away. Get the hell out of here. You know, there ain't no one here. Then you hear everybody, man, why don't you go answer your door, man? He's like, oh, I thought that was in the game, you know, blah, blah. So she goes out there and there ain't no one out there. And it does like that big pan of the yard, you know, and you're just looking. She's like, okay. And I wanted it to snow, you know, just give it like that ambience, like you're all alone, like, you know, The Shining, when you look outside and you see all the snow blast. And I was like, that's the idea I'm trying to think of here, conjure this, because it's a really good concept to create loneliness. And I was like, okay, I can do that. That's perfect. I was like, now what else can I do? I was like, I can put on the headsets. They tell her to play that. And I was like, the gears were grinding, you know, and I'm like, all right, let's just do this. And it leads into like something that sets up in the beginning, reveals itself at the end. And, you know, with technology, like we were talking about, I'm actually able to do actual in-person VFX for it to create this monster that does get her. Oh, and so like, I asked her about it. I was like, okay, blah, blah, you know, we'll sign all our waivers and stuff, you know, we'll get all this going because just in case. But I'm extra careful on set with everything. Like I'm hands-on with anything that's props, weapons, anything like that. Like I get an approval. Even with anybody I ever work with, I'm like, dude, no. We've seen a lot of stuff in Hollywood happen. I'm not having that happen here, especially at low budget level. And I'm like, not happening. So I'm like, all right, let's just knock this out. And I contacted her, and I think something happened with scheduling conflict with us not being able to make that. But that's still in the works. And then I have another one. Well, this one's like, all I need is 2 dudes for real. And I was like, I could probably cast myself. I can play a character. I can do that, especially with like how obscure it'd be of the character. You wouldn't even really see me. But another one is actually, I have the script like right on hand, so I could grab it. Like I could literally just skim through it if you'd like me to.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab it real quick.
By the way, talk about the whole superstitions. Right now, my subscriber number is at 666. So somebody please subscribe because it's fucking freaking me out. I'm like, is that bad luck? Like, it's like, ugh.
All right.
So I was telling my audience, so Brian, when you were gone, I was telling my audience that my subscriber count right now is at 666, and it's like freaking me the fuck out. So I'm like, can somebody please subscribe so that I can get off of that number?
Yeah,
like it's fucking weird.
Yeah. That's a very strange, odd subscriber number. Somebody please go subscribe, please.
Or unsubscribe, something. No,
or unsubscribe, either way. If you need me to unsubscribe, I think I will. I might actually do it just for you. That is crazy.
That's weird.
Yeah. See, we're talking about numerology and numbers like that. See what happens? See the universe coming together. Yeah. All right. So this film is called Keepsake. All right. I kind of got this idea from, like little keepsakes boxes you can get and you can give them like for presents and ornate jewels and crap like that. Well, I had this idea a while back and I was like, all right, how can I make this like into something realistic here? What can I do with this? And I had an earlier version of it. And it was kind of, there's a point in script writing where like, if you hit a wall or like because of characters or plot or some other kind of thing, and you just can't like get past it, it kind of dies. And you're like, all right. So I took the main ideas and I repurposed them. And I was like, all right, let's just do this. So, I got my shot list and stuff and I'll just read it into this. All right. Fade 2. interior, exterior. Now this is the first scene that grabs you. So, everything that fades into something, it goes from credits to fade into here. Daryl, a male in his late 20s, mohawk and facial piercings. It's with Stefan, an ex-military veteran, stocky build, in his mid-20s, are talking to each other while carrying boxes into the house. Now, this is a point of view from the box he's carrying in. So, like a U-Haul box or whatever, you literally see like the house, just the house. You won't see the characters. You won't see nothing else. You just see like the little first part of the film is kind of like that. And I like adding little elements like that because it gives you a sense of like what's going on, claustrophobia, like there's something not right here.
Yeah.
All right, so Stefan, he's off screen. He says, "Thanks for helping carry my stuff in." He said, "Yeah, no problem. It's not like I have anything else to do since the wife left." Stefan doesn't reply. Daryl continued, "I can't believe you answered my ad so quickly." The voices trail off as they walk into the different areas of the house. The house is revealed a little more as they make their way into the back bedroom. So, it's kind of like that where they start off and, it's a little character building, a little insight into their characters real quick. And I like to build that because, these short films, man, you don't get much time. You get I think the longest one I ever watched was like 35 minutes. And that was like, I didn't realize 35 minutes went by. So it was very well made. I was like, wow, dude, I didn't even realize that's 35 minutes of my life. I didn't even realize it was gone. And it was that good. So, I really enjoyed it. Sometimes you don't get that. Sometimes you're watching, you're like,
I watched one that was the one that actually won best short film. It was 5 minutes long. It was fucking amazing. I don't know how the fuck he was able to do it, but he was able to get beginning, middle, end in fucking 5 minutes. And
yeah,
I was like, okay, he has to win the award.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, how do you get a character that quickly to understand their plot and their situation and what environment they're in that quickly? You're like, do, and they're in.
I was like, whoa. I felt fulfilled after watching. I was like, wow, okay.
You're like, how did you do that? You're like, well, magic. Like, well, film magic.
I was in film school and I just made it while I was in film school. I was like, okay, wow, these made it sound so easy.
No, it's not that easy. Don't let these guys fool you, man.
It sounds so easy. Yeah.
There's a lot of work. But yeah, so basically this is kind of when a guy, he's down and out and he's looking for a roommate to probably, help pay bills. Is what it sounds like, right? His wife left him there and, blah, blah, blah. So, they start sitting there and they start interacting with each other. But I think the best part that helps this film move along, like I have a day job. So, normally at work, blah, 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 blah. And then the monotony of that, you understand the monotony, like you work in a factory or anything. You just wake up, go to work, sleep, wake up, go to work, sleep, wake up, go to work, sleep.
Yeah.
You feel like a robot. Mm-hmm. Well, I kind of took that element and put it into this film. And I was just like, sometimes I feel like that. So I'm like, all right, man, like, what can I do to make this feel so monotonous where it makes people feel like they're bored of it already? They'll be like, oh God, here we go with this routine again. He wakes up, brushes his teeth, goes to the bathroom, gets dressed, does this microwave food. And there's this routine. Everybody has one, when you have a normal job, you got this routine, you do it and you just do it and you do it every day for the next 1,000 years until you can retire.
Yeah.
So
or die.
Yeah. Or die first, whatever the hell comes first. It doesn't matter. But, and so he goes into there and there's these montage scenes, they all cut in and there's montage scenes and, turns the lights off, blah, 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 blah. But what really helps pace it differently is when these nightmares happen. These nightmares are like, they're representations of, anytime I believe a nightmare or any kind of dream that you have has some kind of significance, like something in your waking life or something like that, it's telling you something to reflect on, and then you can use that to help better yourself or your surroundings, or usually it's yourself, but things like that, it helps better as do your surroundings. And then he's standing at a familiar doorway. Daryl takes a deep breath and reaches for the door handle to open the door. Close up the door handle turning, and the door slowly creaks open. A single chair sitting in the middle of a completely black room, lit up. With every step closer he shakes more and more. Cut to the alarm goes, and it wakes him up. See, so like I do a lot of jarring. I like things like that. I know I'm giving out the film, but it's totally different when you see it on screen. So this thing, it does that, but then he goes back into this montage. Bam, he eats the cereal bowl. Bam, he goes to this. Bam, he goes to that. He goes back to work and he comes back home. He has little interaction with this other character. But by the time, it gets to this, I brought up The Shining earlier. This is kind of like where I got this idea from. It's the third nightmare he has. I like doing things in threes. Mm-hmm. So he goes in here. Let's see where this is. Nope. Here we go. All right. Daryl's standing at the same doorway again. He is reluctant to open it this time. He takes a deep breath and opens the door. Click. The door opens slowly. There's a bar table there with a single chair. A sign reads, "Relax and take a seat." It's the interior of the bar now. Daryl walks up to the bar, looking stressed. He leans into the bar top. A drink slides over. Stefan off screen. "Here, you look stressed." Daryl looks at him quickly in surprise and grabs a drink and downs it. I have a shot, reverse shot, where you see the character, then it flips back and forth. That's what that's called, a shot, reverse shot. Stefan is standing there dressed really well, cleaning a glass. He says, "So what brought you in?" "What brought you in? Why are you here?" He says. He slams the glass on the table. He's like, "You're the one that called me here. I was tucked away nice, polishing the glass." He's all dressed up like a bartender. The Shining classic. I love it. I had to do a nod to that because that's an introspective. He used that character as an introspective of himself. Mm-hmm. So he pulls out this box, and this box has the whole thing to do with it. He pulls out this box and he shows him. He's like, "What's this mean?" Blah blah blah. And then he has this kind of like a flashback memory of him being a kid. And then he goes into that. He wakes back up. He goes out there. Stefan's gone. I can't tell you the rest, or it's going to ruin the film. But it's thoughts like that, See, it's thoughts like that. You're like, wow, dude, how do you get from this point to that point? And I like taking monotony in everyday situations and turning them into something that could be horrifying, mm-hmm. Even monotony of a day-to-day is horrifying enough to me. As you wake up, it really is a horror unless you
because I don't know about you, Brian. I'm 41, right? And 15, 16, 17, I was all up to about 25-year-old Travis thought that life was going to be more interesting. I don't know what that meant.
Yeah.
But once you hit about 30, you just get into this routine. And you're mm-hmm. comfortable with the routine.
Yeah. Scary, isn't it? But dude, here's the thing I learned in my 37 years. It's the people make it interesting. That's what it is. The people you meet along the way in your journey, and the people you and me just meeting, and we're doing mm-hmm. this. This is what makes it cool. Your kids, if you have any, wifo, whatever, yes. Those make it what it is. Whatever else you do is what you do, man. I say, let the spirit guide you, whatever that spirit may be, or whatever you may have. I'm just saying, let that guide you, enjoy it, and enjoy the ride. Because sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But usually, it's like our blood sugar in America, up and down.
Yes.
Too much, because we drink too much pop.
But for the most part, it's okay. Which okay is average. Average is okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I mean, I'd rather have an okay life than a bad life,
Yeah. And I think the definition of okay changes with each person, you know what I mean? Like my okay could be sitting on a beach with a margarita, and a Cuban cigar. That might not be somebody else's okay. But as long as I believe you say it's okay, and I'm more power, you know what I mean? Because hey, everything's pretty good so far. Even if it gets bad, you know what? I ain't gonna be upset because I'm not gonna let things upset me anymore. That's something I kind of said in 2023. I said, you know what, man? I don't like making New Year's resolutions, New Year, new me bullshit. It's
disappointment. At least it starts your year off with disappointment.
It does, because I saw this video, and it was like, he's like, all right, it's like 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year's. Like, man, what the hell are you doing celebrating here? He's like, rent's due, your bills are due, your car notes due, this is due, that's due. He's like, what the hell are you here celebrating for? You got to go grind, man. Go make some money. He's like, you got bills. Yeah, right. It's like, you got life to go do, man. You ain't got time to sit here and celebrate. And I think that comes with age too. I was like, everybody's like, what'd you do for New Year's? I was like, I actually came down the studio, hung out, and watched SpongeBob. I watched SpongeBob.
I slept. I literally did. I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I slept. Like it was, yeah. Fun things to me now have completely, but it seems like every decade you're talking about the overweight lady playing video games, right?
Yeah.
I had like a 1 year time span that was me. Like, so I knew exactly what you were talking about. Where
Yeah.
playing Call of Duty on Xbox Live, and I was sitting in one fucking spot for hours and just eating junk and drinking big old 2 liters of Mountain Dew like right straight out of a fucking bottle.
I've been there. Mine was mixed with Southern Comfort, you know, but I don't drink anymore, so you know that's why it was just like Southern Comfort.
Well, mine was listen, and then I also had my weed on the side, which I don't do anymore.
Yeah.
But like it was just like that was like my routine. I will wake up, go to work, and then that was my routine.
Yeah, it was mine too. It was like go to work, come home, pop on the Xbox, sit there, play Baldur's Gate or whatever the fuck you're playing at the time. And it's just like, I look back, I said, man, I wasted so much fucking time.
So much fucking time.
Jesus Lord. And all these younger people, I'm like, stop wasting time. I was like, if you got to go to these things, like even people like we have events here in Toledo, and it's like we have film events and stuff, and people are like, ba-ba-da-ba-da, and then let's go to this mixer, and they get wasted. I'm like, guys, I love you. Please drive safe. Call an Uber. But like
even like the going to the clubs and the bars and the party and stuff, that was a waste of fucking time.
I was like, dude,
somebody would have told me.
Stay on the grind, man. Like it's cool to have fun and relax once in a while. I don't drink, so it's like sometimes those mixers are weird to go for me, you know. I'm like sitting there like, well,
super guy.
I'm like, can I have a Pepsi? And they're like,
everybody wash your drinks.
Like free on the house. I'm like, no, seriously, I don't drink. And everybody, you know, most of the people there, they know me, and they're like, yeah, Brian don't drink. You know, we all support each other's sobriety and stuff. You know, and it was just like, it's good, man. It's good to see you. You know, not being on the wagon. You know, or what is it, on the wagon or off? I don't know.
Off the wagon.
It's off the wagon. It's good to not see you off the wagon. They're like, oh yeah, man, blah blah. I'm like, I'm really proud of you. I quit drinking like
I don't even drink. Like I drink rare. Like if it's a social something and somebody else is drinking, and then like,
yeah.
But I've never. But there was a period in my early 20s, probably like everybody, where I was at the bar or clubs every fucking night, spending so much fucking money, and you know, getting drunk and plastered. And I'm like, wow, if I kept some of that money and like put that time towards something else, I probably wouldn't still be working right now at 41 years old.
Yeah, probably. And that's where like I see a lot of these younger kids using their brains instead of their physical. Like, you know, some of the people you see on YouTube, like real big YouTube channels, and they're like, yeah, man, I turned around, started some NFTs and like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, good for you, man. Like people are like, aren't you? I'm like, I'm not a hater, dude. I want to see everybody succeed, man. I was like, It's all of us and then mega corporations. That's all there is. Literally, there's us people, then mega corporations. That's what we get. And it's either help support each other or give all of our money more to them. And they got enough of our money.
But even like in the indie horror scene, like, you know, we are I'm not saying it's a tight net because it's not that tight net, but like indie horror people look out for other indie horror.
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't want to say tight knit because there are some assholes who are
assholes. Yeah. Just some
assholes.
assholes that are assholes. Yeah.
There's some assholes, but that's in every group. But for the most part, you know, it's everybody kind of, you know, looks out for each other and don't mind helping, and they're not looking for something back in exchange, you know. And like,
they're genuine. They just want to help, or they just want to be involved. And you're like, man, that's pretty genuine. You know, they're like, dude, I want to try special effects. And it's like, all right. I mean, I got the blood squirter over here, and they see it go, and they're like, oh my God, that's so awesome. And then they just want to help. And you're like, I want to pay you. Like, I feel kind of bad sometimes just saying, here's pizza, man. But sorry about that. You know, sometimes I was like, we'll get residuals at the end, I promise. Like, it's just right now, it's this budget's real tight because it all comes out of our pocket, you know. I'm like, this money comes all out of my pocket. I don't get any money I don't like doing that, you know. Like, please, you know, I don't knock anybody else that does it, but like the group sharing stuff, you know, like Indiegogo and stuff and all those. I don't like doing those because like if you don't meet those, you don't see none of it. And if you do, you have to give it all back, and then it loses momentum for your film. Because like
I also feel like, don't you? This is okay. Maybe this is me. I feel like you gotta have skin in the game. The saying, skin in the game. If you don't have any skin in the game, like for instance, like the big thing in Baltimore where I live in Maryland, everybody's doing real estate investments. You know, real estate investment. And there's these. I'm trying to think of a nice way to call them. But real estate agents slash sharks who will say, "Oh, well, you know, you can invest in real estate and do flips with no money at all."
Yeah, don't lie to me. No, that don't work like that, man. You got to put some kind of money into it, either blood, sweat, or tears.
Because if you're doing a flip, it's kind of hard to go to a contractor and say, "Hey, I want you to do this whole entire fucking job for nothing, and I'll pay you once I sell the house," or some crazy shit. No one's doing that. Like, you gotta have some skin in the game.
Yeah, you do. You have to either have some of your own money invested, all your own equipment, or you have all the talent and you just need the other people. But usually when those things come, you know, it's like I show up, I got my own camera, got my own audio gear, got my own lights and everything else. I just need bodies to help make them. So that's the part, like, but I invested a lot of time and money into doing that, you know, because that's what I really like doing. I like making music and films. You know, I'm an artistic type of person. So it's like anything I do like that, I invest my time and money. I learn about it and I do my best. If I have to take a course or something, I'm like, I don't understand this. Or even like there's some great YouTube filmmakers that just talk about making films and different shots and not just like Film Rant and stuff like that, you know, like people like that or Film Riot. And there's so many like actual like normal dude. I'll give him a shout out because I really like him. But Brady Bessett, he is amazing. I don't care what anybody says. I've been following him since like he started way back when he like lived. I think over on the East Coast, but then he moved to Utah, and he has like his coloring tutorials. Like they blew me away, and I was just like, wow, dude, this is so easy. And he's like, he first started off with just like showing low budget ways to do lighting, and I'm like, wow, bam, I tried it, and I was like, wow, that worked great because like you can fake a lot of things in film, you know.
Yeah.
So like he said, how about you take a car, you can shower. Yes, you can put it on the shower setting for your hose. It can make it look like rain. You can stick a light way off in the background, you know, somewhere in there and make it like a 2600 Kelvin. That's a really warm colored light. And you put it off the back, you offset your camera at about 4,000. It'll make it really warm. You can have your character sitting there, and then you put a blue light in front of them to make it look like, you know, they're out parked in a street, like a parking lot. Then you can just have it raining, and you can have the windshield wipers go whop, 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 whop. I'm like, he did this with 2 lights and a shower in his backyard. I was like, and it looked real. And he's like, I didn't really have to do any coloring because all my color was correct in the camera. And all I do is I take my footage out and put in raw, you know, or whatever. And however, well, a lot of people, it depends on what cameras you use, but you know, you put in DaVinci. That's what I use when I do all my editing. And I go in there and I just put in there, and everything's basically, it might have to be a little touch here, a little touch there, but I like getting everything in camera, all the practical lights, all the other things, all the, even like this, you know,
yeah,
I like even having that in there. And when you have that, that's why I think a lot of like some film really lost its magic and luster now, because like too much is relied on digital. And like, yeah, some of it looks really good if you know you're like the Avengers and you got $4 billion to spend on a film. Yeah, it's going to look realistic, but you know, we don't have a giant wraparound white wall that we can just, or actually it's an LED screen like the Mandalorian. A whole LED screen. It's like $9 million for this thing, and just walk in there and be like, look, I'm running through the pastures of somewhere in Scotland. Ha ha ha. I don't have that. So, you know, I can't do that. So I got to make mine look realistic as possible within the budget, within time. And it's just pick real locations with real looking things, you know? Okay. Like Peekaboo. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back on that. Yeah, for real. Yeah, let's get back on Peekaboo. The one scene where she goes to turn on the TV, you know, there's a scene where, you know, it does the zoom out and she's just, she's so bored of being on her phone. goes to turn on the TV, and that light that comes on, that's a practical light. And I did that myself. So I was behind the camera when she went to go take it. Like, okay, I just pretend this is the, this right here is the thing. She went to go doop and went to go press it. And all I did was flip the light with my hand like this. Doop. I had her boomed overhead off a C-stand. Like, no joke. It was just out of scene. Bam. She was mic'd like this. Came in and she just went, and I just perfect. Because there's like a setting on there for TV. And it like just started doop, doop, doop. And it looks like the TV really kicked on. But really, the way the couch was moved, it goes into a hallway. You can't even tell because I kept it real tight, like you can see the door and you can see these other, places, but you can't see where it goes. It looks like there's a TV there. There ain't no TV there. It's movie magic, basically. And I know I'm giving some secrets away, but maybe people, maybe people
learn.
Yeah. So like, when you, and it wasn't even an expensive light. I didn't go and buy no, Nan light or Pavo tubes or these super expensive $99 for this tube light that's just 2 feet long and $1,000 lights. You don't need those. You can use practical lights like a lamp. A lamp is normal lamp inside your house. Let's say one on your tabletop is like 2600 Kelvin. That's a normal, real warm orange light that we all grew up with the incandescent bulb.
Right now. Yep.
That's exactly what it is. So you can take that, you set your camera to it, you match the Kelvin color, bam, you're at your auto white. That's the white of your color, not the blacks, but the white. So all your colors in the white spectrum balance with that, especially if you haven't seen, like say it'd be like right over here, right? And you're in here, you got your rule of thirds. And you're sitting there just doobie, and you're doing your little own thing. And they're like having dialogue on the phone. Like, this is stupid as hell. What the hell am I doing in this lobby? And then they do a big punch out scene. And you see like a whole bunch of people around him with a lamp. And then you see the big white lights over him. You're like, oh, he's in a doctor's office. Okay. And, that helps establish the environment. But even things like that, you can like use natural lighting is nice. But in the indie world, we usually get natural lighting, practical lighting, and like outside daylight. And that's about usually when, you get into like more expensive, like, expensive lights, with special grids and all those. That's way later on. Please, anybody who wants to make films, let's watch this. Please don't go spend all your money on that. Get like 1 or 2 good lights. Because like I literally have one that's like this big. And it has like, oh my God, it has like 20 different settings. I can do RGB, both warm white, cool white, and it does like 97% TCLI, like, or TLCI, and it's like a color indexing, and it's like the colors are true. So it's like, I think I spent $29 on it. It was like one of those things I bought, and I was like, wow, I should have bought this a long time ago when I saw it. This thing was great. It was like actually for the part in Scribbles from the Crypt, when the dude's pushing the girl and the lightning's going on in the back.
Oh, yeah.
That was that light, the flashing light. That was what that light was. Yeah, I popped it underneath the table. I used a little C-clamp, like one of these. Mm-hmm. Hey, people are getting a little film tutorial here. But it's like a little super clamp, C-clamp here, and you just pop that on. It has a little quarter 20. You just crank that bad boy on, put it on underneath the table, stuck it on flash. It was like flash. It looked like he was pushing it out in the lightning storm, But see, like those little practical things, they add that little element to film, and you're like, hey, wow, that's pretty cool, And that's what, that's what I love about doing film right there. It's like those little things, man, they get you. Those are the things that make it magic. Story and that, it all comes together, and it's stressful on stress set. I ain't gonna lie. It's super like you're like, all right, but if you do your pre-planning correctly and you get your script down, everything down, and you get like even like sometimes like if a shot's really, really complicated, like in this one I was just reading off here, like Keepsake, there's a shot where it does a dolly zoom. It does a dolly zoom 360. Like it's a really weird shot. So like follows the character while it's spinning and moving down. It's a really hard shot. You got to like have a dolly cart for it. If you don't, you start looking, "Whoa," you'd be all wonky, like a cell phone camera,
Yeah.
and you see like that, and you're like, stop, it's dry. And no matter how much stabilization you use in your program, it ain't gonna work.
Because I don't know anything about filmmaking, right? Except for I learned from filmmakers, right?
Yeah.
But I just see like I see some filmmakers, they do it so fucking well
Yeah.
with X amount of dollars, and then someone else comes around and does it and have either the same amount or more and do it so wrong. And I'm like, well, how the fuck is that possible? And then I realized because the person who does it so well is an actual student of the industry. They're learning. They done grow. They done practice their craft over time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the person to the right is just trying to make a film.
Yeah, 100%. Like you can even have all the tools and stuff, like you said. That I know of a film like that, and I don't want to talk about it too much, but like I was sitting there and I heard of some horror stories from on set, and it was like a 16-hour day when it was supposed to be a 4-hour shoot, and like no one knew what they were doing. And I was just like, oh my God. And they had a nice budget, and I'm like, I shot more for 4 pizzas from Domino's. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. They're like, can I just work with you next time, please? I was like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, because I watched a movie recently. I'm not gonna say movie does, but I watched it and then like I interviewed the guy. He said, "Yeah, I made this movie for $1,000." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Holy shit!" I thought that this movie was Actually, I'm gonna give it a shout out. It's called Evil Lurks. It's on Tubi.
Okay, Evil Lurks. Yeah, okay.
And there's another one too that's called The Takeaway. I want to say or the Takedown or something. Anyway, I did an interview. It's a vampire movie.
Okay.
Both of these guys shot. I'm telling you, it looked like to me a $500,000 budget movie.
Yeah.
It really did.
It's all about how you shoot it, man. You use your angles and your lighting. It's like I watched enough films to actually know what I like to see. But then, like, if there's certain spots where you're like, I have no fucking clue how they did that. So, like, you go back and you can find the diagrams and you can find them, like, the drawings of them doing it. And you're like, oh, I think I get this now. Okay. So you go in there like, all right, there's a part in one of the 007s, the newer ones. And they have the practicals in the background and they're all like real warm lights behind them. And then there's like one, it's how you set your lights with your camera too. It's like you always want to do, I think, was it the key light's on the smart side and then the fill light's on the dumb side. The smart side, all that means is the part that has all the buttons. Back in the day, it used to be like the part where you like change your aperture and and you put your film load side, it had all your buttons on the side and all your wheels and cogs and whatever else. Now it's basically the same thing, but if you put that on that side, it creates more dynamic, makes images look more 3D. And that's how you create separation, because even video without separation has a 2D effect still, because it's a flat plane and all you see is colors. So like even if I were to take this light right here, right? Okay, I got a little light right here. Doop. Okay, a little tube light. That's how I was adding some little extra blue in the background.
Nice. Okay.
And you see like a lot of like other people doing it, but that's how they do it right there. Wow. I just can just zoom over that way. Look, it adds some dimension. How does that do it?
But I was wondering. All right, so listen, I need a tutorial right now. So I watch a lot of guys who do what I do on YouTube, right? I'm new to YouTube. I haven't been doing this for a year.
Okay.
And they almost do the fucking videos. It looks like it's almost in the fucking dark.
Yeah.
But there's like a blue light or something in the back that doesn't make it look dark. Is that what they're doing?
Yeah. So normally it's like it's called 3-point lighting. 1, you got your main key light. 2, you can have a fill light. And 3, this light would be like a hair accent or something like that, or it's in the background just to give a splash of color to see how this is orange and that's blue and they're contrasting each other. I got this a little hot. I didn't turn it down to run the other camera, but the other camera's like, a lot different, and it has ND filters and stuff like that. But this, no. So actually, that's something I was going to do because it's been driving me nuts. I can't stand it. I'm like, all right, I gotta take care of this. And you can change the color temperature too. That's another thing.
Because I always wanted that look. But I'm like, how the fuck? I even tried it during one of my videos, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's too fucking dark. It looks like I'm sitting in the damn dark.
Yeah,
They have it.
Your light's
like in the dark. Huh?
Your light's got to be like super bright, like this. All right, so I'm changing, so like that, right? Even like this, I changed the color light like that. Boop, put that in the background.
And it looks like I'm in the dark.
Looks like I'm sitting in the dark. Now I could do this. Now since I could just move over a little bit more, just like this. But hey guys, blah, 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 blah.
And that's the look that every horror podcast, YouTuber has. That fucking look.
Like that. And they're like, how
did it's like they're sitting in the fucking dark and like
just a couple extra accentuated lights. That's all you really 3 lights is you can do it. So you can go like you can get a couple of good brands out there like that are pretty decent price. You can get like what is it? I really like Aperture lights, but they're a little pricey. But you can get a good one that's like a dual color for like I think $199, $299 somewhere around there. But they last forever. Like they're battery powered. They come with packs and everything. They're like they're battery powered. You can take them out in the field with you, and you're like, all right, these are freaking sweet. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm gonna show you something what I can do with my light. Okay, so I'm gonna do a tutorial real quick. All right, so it looks like I'm in the dark, right? I can do See, it looks like I'm in the fucking dark, and I have like that blue light on it. But it looks like I'm in the dark. So
yeah,
so I need a light here, and then a blue light.
Hey, you can actually so. Now, talking about for mega corporations earlier, you can actually go get one of them. I think it's by Vivitar, and it's a little like they're like a MC Pro light from what the hell is it called? Oh god, it's another Aperture brand, but they're like little MC Pro lights. You can get them. They're like 72 LEDs, but you can go to Walmart. There's a Walmart everywhere. You go to their little audio visual area and they got like the ring lights and everything else. They have them. They're like aluminum bodied chassis and they're USB-C rechargeable. They're really like stupid nice. And you can go and just get like any quarter mount, Gorilla Pod or something like that. And you can put it above and out of screen, So like this right here, this is a Pavo Nan light, right? That's what this is. So I can take this. It even has like it's crazy. I can direct the light. Wow. So like one scene I did, it was actually in The Stranger with Brad Case made. Now I don't know if you ever watched that, but if you ever get a chance, it's not horror, but if you ever get a chance, go watch it. It's really good. But there's a scene where like the camera's facing him, but when you cut back out, it's a mirror. So like, how the hell did you do it? So you mount a GoPro, or whatever, and you want to turn the lights off and you want this kind of light because this it's like a louve. It's kind of like what this is. It's a grid and it like directs the light like a lightsaber. Just think of it like that. So like you can do something like that and you can make those things too. You don't even need to buy them. And there's like, I believe a lot of it's consumerism. They want you to buy stuff. Some stuff's important, you're like, all right, I really need this and I really can't get away with not doing this anymore. I can't do it no more. That's where a point where I was like, all right, honey, I gotta buy some actual lights. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, I really gotta go buy some lights. And luckily we have like, there's a what do they call it? Oh my Lord. I have the light right here and I can't even remember the name of it, but whatever. They have their location here, right? And I think it's in Maumee, Ohio. And hold on, it's gonna bother me. Oh my. Okay.
I'm telling you, Brian. That sitting in a dark look. That it's every YouTuber is doing that look now.
Yeah, it's to give you that. What's that? It's the cinematic look. The cinematic, man. Yeah, people hate in the film industry, man. They're like, I want this to look cinematic. You ever see those memes? Oh my Lord, they come across my feed all the time. They're like the 4 things, like especially on Instagram. They're like, you can't use cinematic. There's like, you get kicked off the film set. let's look cinematic. You're like, oh, dude, no, don't do that. I was on one that was like, yeah, we're gonna make this look real cinematic, and I was like,
But the city in the dark looks good. But then I'm also like wondering too, like, as a black guy, is that gonna work?
yes, actually, yeah, you can adjust. You get a color temperature change, and you just use it. You just use a warmer tone. That's all you have to do, and just turn it up a little brighter.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm blown out, man. This I turn this up 3 more percent, man. I'm Casper over here. I'm like, yeah, I'm on the surface of the sun. That's why I had to turn it down. Like, dude, my forehead is glowing.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to get too damn dark because you know what I mean. But I like that look right there, and it's, every horror YouTuber has your look. Like it's that blue accent sitting in the dark, and then they have that creepy tone like, "Welcome to the horror room. I'm Sebastian Smith, and we're gonna talk about blah, 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 blah." You know, I don't want to do that fucking voice because that voice is
Welcome to the horror realm.
Yeah, they already got a fucking weird fucking voice.
Oh my god.
I don't want to do the voice, but I do like the dark look. You know, I feel like
Okay.
it's too bright. I feel like it's just too bright.
Yeah, so number one thing you
For
have to do is you have to turn off all your interior lights. So anyone you may have over top, like I have ones integrated into the ceiling panels, right? So like they're LED and they're really good. They're really nice lights.
Yeah.
But like let me show you real quick. So this is the difference. Like, all right, guys, here's a learning moment.
Okay.
See that now?
Yep.
That's called my cinema lighting. Because when I sit here and I edit films, you know, I like editing it the way you'll see it in a film. You know, the lights will go down and you won't be sitting in this bright ass, seeing a glare back at the camera or at the screen, you know, and I'm sitting here like on the iMac. Oh my God, the light's too bright behind me. And it's like, I have one right above me. So it just,
Yeah, I gotta recess light right here.
it literally blasts down on the screen. And I'm like, I can't see. I'm like, I got to make it darker. And then like, even with Peekaboo, man, I'm sitting there like, it's so dark in this fucking room. I can't see anything. I was like, I got to turn the contrast up a little bit. I'm like, I'm looking at like, am I just getting old? I was like, hey, babe, come here. I need you to look at this for me. I'm like, I think so. I was like, I don't know if I'm getting fucking old or what the hell it is, but like, I got to really squint at this. I eventually turned that film right there, editing this, really showed me edit in the dark. People think it's crazy, but when you're doing horror films and there's a lot of dark scenes and you're like trying to match everything to make it look better, you have to like dim your lights down. You probably asked them like, oh yeah, like I will literally do it complete. I don't know about anybody else. I do it completely in the dark. And I'm sitting here like this. Now music scoring, that's all lights on, bright as hell. I can't do it any other way or it'd be like too much. But yeah, so that's with lights on and what it looks like. But when I turn this light off, like, and these can even change colors too. So let's say we can get effects.
And where'd you get that from?
Actually, I bought this from another videographer in my town. He was like, he has so much equipment. He's like, hey guys, I'm offloading some more equipment again. And I found, you know, Facebook Marketplace. We have like a creatives group, you know, and we all chat with each other and help get each other gigs and stuff like that all the time. So like, it's got a really warm, you know, real good support group around here. Then you can get like this. Ooh, it's just pulsing red. Welcome to the Red Pulse. See, this is Hell 9000. You know, something like that. This is Hell 9000.
There's a horror guy. I don't know if you watch his YouTube channel. He literally talks in a fucking fake voice like that. I'm assuming it has to be fake. He talks in a fake voice like that. And like, I can't watch it because I'm like, like that voice is cool for like 10 minutes. But he does like interviews for like a fucking hour, and I can't like listen to someone talk like that for an hour.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. No disrespect to the man, but I don't know if I can. Maybe like for an intro or maybe like for our advertisers.
Well, he has way more subscribers than I do, so I mean, he must be doing something right. Somebody must like it.
It sounds like somebody's buying subscribers. I don't know, man. I ain't gonna lie there, you know.
I couldn't fucking do it. I'm like, after 5 minutes, I was like, fuck this shit. I can't fucking do it.
It's like, I'm Batman from Gotham.
Like,
Okay, man. Yeah, dude, I get it. Okay, Christian Bale, we know
I
it's you.
get it. I mean, I get it. You're trying to be creepy, horror, blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah. But just sit in the dark and you use your regular voice. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Use my regular voice, sit in the dark, but
Yeah.
also be seen on camera.
Yeah, so you get 3 lights. I'll give you a couple lists. This is a Nanlite Pavo tube. It's I think it's a 2C. And they're like $169. They got double mounted, quarter 20 mounts. That's a universal mount anywhere. You can mount it to the ceiling, the damn door handle there, or you can mount it to the top of the door and just have a hair light on the back of your it's to add depth. And the 3-point is this. I'll give it a real easy explanation. One is your main key light. This is the key light right here. So right here in frame. Yes, I left it in frame. I didn't care. But in frame, I got this with a 45-degree egg crate on it. So that helps create, my main. If I were to turn this off, this would be dark as fuck in here. So I could turn that down even more. And then I could add one more light, like off, like the dumb side, and add a little more fill into this. Just a little bit, because, this is called the Rembrandt right here. And you get that little above the cheekbone, but I got a nose and cheekbones that do that naturally. So I got a natural face for Rembrandt. But then you can add one of these off to the side. Dupe is just doing its own freaking thing over there all by itself and just pulsing in the background. And then, you want to be enough out of shot just like that. But something like that, even like I said, Walmart, man, it was it a Vivitar? It was one of those brands, but it's like a little tiny light about this big, not much bigger than like a cell phone for real. Like it's literally the size of a cell phone like this. And all the buttons are right on the side. You have intensity and it changes the color. And then what's the other setting? Power, of course. It's USB-C rechargeable. I had that thing going for like 3 hours on a shoot, like with Brad. Literally, it was just nonstop on. I totally forgot about it being on because it was just like that little fill light, like it was just to help bring that, especially on Inamorata, and I was like, I have this light, and it was like the big China ball, as they call it. The big China ball was on. It was just like glowing them both up. And I was like, I need something like to accentuate something because it looks so flat. It's supposed to be dark. I was like, how about on the table? I'd use a little candlelight feature on it. It has a candlelight feature, dude. So like you turn it on, it just has like the slow pulsing of a candle on. And I was like, dude, because like in his glasses on the one shot, you can see like the candle flickering. That wasn't a candle. That was that practical light I had in my hand while shooting. So yeah, little things like that, man. 3-point light is this. You got your main key light, you got a fill light, and then you got a light like that that's doing that. It helps create depth and dimension in your image.
Who knew? Listen, I did not know these horror YouTube guys was going that detail to get their light game down. But I mean, it makes sense now. I mean, I'm like, okay. And now give me 2 weeks and my light game. I'll be sitting in the dark doing my interviews.
Yeah. So the best thing to do is like where you have your camera now is perfect. So I'd say like usually you have a stronger side for your face, and you know which side that is. And like you just adjust it to that. And there is an actual geometry where you're supposed to put your lights because it gives you like the most wrap around on your face. But like usually within like, don't quote me, anybody, please. I don't want to get yelled at. But like anywhere from like 60 to 110 degrees, you can get it in there and then in a pocket, even 40, like somewhere like in this. You do it somewhere in there, you have to go past the camera because, that's straight camera. You just go a little bit like that. I have mine far off left. So mine's almost at a 90-degree angle of the camera. But if I sat back more like this, it highlights me more. So it all depends on where you can get them. What else? You're going to need light stands. I'm telling you, go get some on. You don't need these big, powerful ass C-stands. They're meant to hold some mega weight. Don't do that.
I got a whole bunch of fucking room down there. How am I gonna do that?
Okay, either if you're allowed to put holes in the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. You can do it by stud mount, and they have quarter 20 mount with hangs. And like they have like boom arms that come out, and you can do that. That's one way. And another way is you can use like a shock mount. They're what the hell? They're like a C stand, but they have a lot better foot marking for it. But you can like adjust the bottom. It's like a normal stand, but like they're heavier duty, and they're way cheaper than this damn C stand here. These are meant to like, I can put that thing up 19 feet, put the thing way out there, put a big old weight on the back of it, and it just holds it. It'll hold it all freaking day long. You don't need nothing like that. That's some stupid professional grade crap. Don't. They're like $200.
Send me a list. Send me a list of exactly what I need.
Okay, I'll send you a list. All right, so Peekaboo. If you notice, I do have a T-shirt for it. I kind of did. I did get some T-shirts made. And,
I would like a shirt. I would like a T-shirt, man. I will rock in my interviews, man.
What size are? What size are you?
Give me an extra large.
Okay, I actually have one. I'll get it right out to you then.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool.
Listen, Brian, where can anyone find you, my friend?
Well, I'm all over the place, but mainly I'm kind of getting away from using my production company name, and I'm going to my Ice Castle Drives. That's literally the film company I'm going to be starting for this. So it's kind of like jump board, and it's helping bring all the things I'm doing together under one umbrella. So it'd be Ice Castle Drive Films, but it's still with Haunted Wonderland Productions. That's with everything else I've made so far. And you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on. I have a link tree. I can even give you one of those. But yeah, I have.
Put it down. Yeah, send me a link tree. I'll put it. It's down in the description, guys.
Yeah, so I can just send you that, and like it has everything. Even like if you feel like donating me $5 to help make a film, I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't need it, but if you want to, I'm okay with that. I'll thank you much as. And
if he doesn't use it, he'll donate it to me for my expensive light game. I gotta
hey, actually, we can get it for like $300, man, if not less. We'll get you hooked up, man.
I appreciate it. I had no idea it was that involved to.
Yeah, it really
City in the Dark look.
It really is. It's absolutely asinine sometimes, but I like to have it like this because, like, if I'm a filmmaker, this is what I think. Like, if I'm a filmmaker and I don't put that kind of effort in, even into doing an interview like that, what makes me look like I will put that much effort into films I make? You know what I mean? Like, that's me personally. Like,
but don't get me started on that, Brian. Listen, don't get me started on that, Brian. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen some of my interviews, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I gotta say. But I'm like, oh, okay, like. Okay. You know, this is an interview, right? I'm like, okay, interesting, But hey, to each his own. But anyway, I always got myself in trouble doing some of these interviews. I'm being honest, though. Listen, I'm being honest. If you're doing an interview, like, don't be sitting in the dark. You're like, yeah, come on now, seriously.
Yeah, not completely. At least you can.
Not completely. I'm talking completely in the dark. Like, come on now, stop. I mean, come on.
You're supposed to be able to actually see each other and talk back and forth, and people are supposed to be able to see each other.
I mean, and you're making a film. I would think that about lighting games. I don't make films. I don't know enough about lighting games. That's why. I ask professionals.
Yeah, that's why I'm actually really happy to help you too. So anything you need, man, for real. If you want to bring that game up to this kind of crazy wacky old thing, and I mean go down the deep dark ass fucking rabbit hole of lighting, then you'll be like, I'm sick and tired. You do one of these on set. Go to light a fucking cigarette. I don't even fucking smoke, man. Fucking son of a bitch.
I just want to be the creepy horror guy, YouTuber in the dark. That's all I want. With the blue light. I don't want nothing too super crazy.
I can help you 100% with that.
Yes, I want to be extra creepy. So I mean,
yeah. I think I've noticed even from watching other YouTubers when they have that cinematic look, it seems like people gravitate towards that because it feels like film, like
they like it. They love it. They love it. They love it. You're authentic. If you're on YouTube and you have that look, you're considered authentic.
That's so fucking weird, isn't it? That's
like your content could be horrible, but you're authentic if you have that dark.
We could be opening up fucking like Funko Pops and shit and talking about absolutely nothing and talking about Sonic the Hedgehog and we have 10 fucking million subscribers. It makes no sense, but then you want to make real good content with real people and people are like, I mean, you don't look professional enough. And you're like, get the fuck out of here, dude. It's
the
like
lighting, I get it. I get it. Like your lighting is not that great, or this and that. Why don't you get a green screen or something? I'm like,
why the fuck do you care? It's just an interview, man.
it's a fucking interview. I mean, I could be sitting here butt ass naked. Does it even matter?
It's your fucking podcast. You can do whatever you want, man. Hey,
If
more power to you.
interesting, if I'm talking to interesting people having interesting interviews, what the fuck? I mean, there could be a big dick on the wall in the background. Does it even matter?
It'd be in the back. Signed by everybody ever. Oh man, I'll be the first to sign that motherfucker if you ever want to do that, man. I think that'd be great. I go with my long ass name. You better get a big one, man, or it ain't gonna fit. But yeah, like that'd be funny as hell. I'm so for it.
Oh my goodness! I always say with times like, if you go into a YouTube channel, you will see fucking like laser beams and fucking fireworks in the back of my head. This is not the fucking channel for that. I don't know how to fucking do that shit. I'm not trying to learn how to do that fucking shit. I just want to have a good interviews and something fun for horror fans. That's it. I mean, this is not going to be. I do want to be sitting in the dark though. That's
okay. Yeah, we over here will help you, especially me. I will help you 100%. If that's the look you're looking for, I'm here to help, my man. Sit in the dark. Sit in the dark, creeping through the darkness. That's what he'll be doing here soon.
Watch one of my. By the way, I did a video. It was called fuck. It was 5 times haunted attractions became deadly or something like that. I forgot that. And watch that video, and you see, I start off in the dark because I'm like talking this voice like this. So you know what? So I'm doing that creepy voice right to make it sound, and I'm sitting in the dark for like the first quarter of the what's it called, and all of a sudden the lights are on because I could not read my fucking script. It was too fucking dark. I'm like, how did these motherfuckers read in the fucking dark?
How do you read in the fucking dark, bro? Yeah,
I can do this right here in the dark if I had to, because I don't use a script or anything. Like some of my shit is like scripted. Every once in a while, I'll do a scripted fucking video. Yeah. And like, I can't be sitting in the dark. Like, I'm old. Like, I can't be fucking trying to read shit in the fucking dark.
Yeah. Like, now, if you have it lit correctly, you should be able to read within like I can read this, this film script right here because it has like just enough light right in this area. And sometimes, the foam light helps too. You just do like one of these off screen. But, with me, I ain't even bouncing it. It's bouncing off the white fucking this. That's another trick you could do if it's too intense. You can bounce your light off the wall or a piece of muslin or something and actually do this real warm, really beautiful. Like I said, Brady Bessett, man. I learned a lot of stuff from that guy. And every single time he goes live, I'm like, thank you for everything you did. I really appreciate you. And he's like, oh, thanks, bro. I was like, no, man, like for real. You really helped me in like taking my I want to make films, yay, I want to make films, and made me go, I'm seeing this in a totally different world now. Now I see why. Why do these commercials look so good? Oh, it's the lighting. Lighting is very important.
It really is.
It really is. It's stupid too.
But even like my lighting game has changed from my first. I don't know if you're watching my first interviews. It was like fucking like. It's like the lighting was fade. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but the lighting, I was doing light and dark and light and dark and light and dark. And then I was like, fuck this. I got a ring mount. Ring light. I placed that motherfucker down in one fucking spot. And then of course I have like surrounding lights on. But at least I'm one fucking, it's not like I'm fucking shading in and out.
Like this?
Yes.
That's because that's the computer. Like before that, the other camera wasn't doing that at all. It locks your ISO is what it does. Once it locks it, doop, and it stays right there and it ain't gonna move. Now this is just the HD camera in the iMac, so it's like, well, look.
It was like I was like fucking shading, and then like even like with my cell phone, I tried doing a video on that, and I was doing this. It was doing the same thing. I was like, I know the phone. Every time you fucking move.
Yeah,
light will shift.
Yeah,
I don't even know how like people.
That's called auto ISO. So it's just like adjusts the brightness based off the brightest part. So like this part of my forehead is fucking glowing. I'm not gonna lie. So this part's glowing, so it's reading. Now if I do this, now it's gonna adjust it some more, and it's gonna adjust it some more, and it's gonna adjust it some more. That's going to adjust it some more. Yeah, until it gets fucking annoying. So yeah, I totally understand what you mean. That's why I didn't really want to turn this damn thing on, because I knew it won't do me any justice. I'm not trying to look like a fool.
By the
out
way,
there on the
everybody
road.
probably wonders why your screen has switched stances. So his battery died like at midway through the interview, so we had to like swap it out. So when this video comes out, it's gonna look like you're sitting in one position and then you're gonna jump to over there. And people are like, what the fuck just happened?
What the fuck happened to this guy? Where did he go for like 5 minutes? Well, I went to go take a piss on top of it. I ain't
I'm
gonna
gonna
lie.
edit that part out. They're not gonna see that part, that long part where you were trying to figure out the camera.
I got the Pepsi, man. Let's go. Yeah, but yeah, I had like the camera set over here at a better angle, you know.
It was a nice and it looked crisp too. I don't know what camera that was you were using in the beginning.
Sony A6.
Oh, it was so crisp. I was sitting and you had that man sitting in the dark look too.
Yeah,
blue. It looked the whole time I was talking to you, I was like, damn, that looks crisp. I wonder fucking what camera he's using. And I wonder how did he get that blue and man in the dark look.
yeah. So, dude, if you're looking for an updated camera, go Sony, man. For real, get a Sony ZV-1 or ZV-1. Those are really good for vlogging and doing YouTube videos. Like, they are solid color, easy, super easy to use, and they're not expensive in a camera world. Yeah, it's not expensive in the camera world. Like, I spent, I think, $1,000 for mine, and that's what Peekaboo was shot on. That's what a lot of, Inamorata and Scribbles from the Crypt was shot on. So, like, except for the very first film, a lot of those scenes, especially towards the end, were all shot on that camera, and it has a really good color to it. That's why I was like, oh, I really like Sony, and I was like, because I had this pivotal moment like a couple months back, and I was just like, should I switch camera brands? Because like I have the chance coming up to buy like a really nice camera I really want. But I was like, can I use all my lenses? And that's what it really comes down to, is like changing your whole lens family.
Accessory, yeah.
Oh my God, I almost had anxiety just from thinking about it. Cause I was like, all right, I have a 30 mil, I have a 15 to 35, I have 100, what is it, a 75 to 150 something millimeter lens. I have an 8 millimeter, a 15 millimeter. And I was like, these are all for the Sony style. And that's like a E-mount, it's an E-mount style. So like has like 3 blades and it clicks in real easy, real nice. But I was like, now the one I was looking at was the DJI. And it's like it's the DJI 4D. That camera is fucking amazing. Like it has four dimensions of stabilization. So it just doesn't do like, on a gimbal or something like that. You see just like the super pan smooth, like, the pans and the boom shots, it does this too. So when you're running, it stays like a chicken's head. You ever see the chicken head doing this? And they're like moving the chicken. You just see the head moving. It doesn't move. I think the guy, literally, there's a joke about it somewhere. You can find on YouTube. It's really fucking funny. It's the comparison of the chicken head to the Ronin 4D. And the guy was probably like, you know what? He's like probably watching some chickens and somewhere else. And the guy was holding it and doing this. And they're like, that's probably where they got the fucking idea for this damn thing. I was dying laughing because I went and I watched and I was like, maybe that's where the fuck they got this idea. Because like literally you look at it and the guy has a camera, right? And it has like the controls on the side and it comes up and it's like, and it does a Z. So like it uses from the Mavic airline, it uses the technology of like, it has this pulsing. It can tell you how far away it is from the ground. It knows how far. So like you can use it and it'll be like 3 meters from the ground. And when you power it up and then you pick it up and it'll stay when you move the camera. So you can run full sprint. I literally watched this dude run full sprint. And it was as smooth as butter, like, a multi-million-dollar Hollywood film. And I was like, I really want this. I was like, how much is this? Looked into it. I was like, all right, I won't be sleeping on the couch anymore. I will be sleeping on the street. The old lady would kick me out if I spend that kind of money. I was like, babe, if you make some money doing stuff with your videos and you go shoot a couple music videos or something, I'm like, I don't want to do that. So, I ended up I stayed with the Sony brand instead because, little better budget. And the other one's like $6,000 for it. But I'm telling you, I could hand it to you and you could do it. Like you could literally shoot a film with it.
I,
It has LiDAR in it, dude. It's stupid. Like it'll keep you in focus. Like
I
perfect.
just upgraded my like webcam game recently, like recently,
Yeah.
because I was using what's it called, a Logitech.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was okay for the point. I mean, I was just starting off, and then I upgraded to. I was looking for it. I got the Face Cam by Alexa.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I heard that this is like the best webcam for whatever. So I just upgraded to that. But like,
Actually, I did hear about Facecam. That was like if you want an alternative to your HD i camera or whatever, get a Facecam. I was like, because I was like, maybe there's like a 4K version or something, like I might have for a film idea. Like she'll be sitting there streaming that film I was talking about, and maybe that I can use something because
they got the Pro Edition too, which is a couple $100 more.
If it's worth it, it's worth it, especially if you need
it.
it.
Yeah, but like this is my third interview filming with this so far.
Dude, the camera looks crispy, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it looks crisp as shit. It looks way better than Logitech. But like for like, so when I go out to horror conventions and stuff like that, I use a GoPro.
Yeah.
And I bought a fucking eBay like a GoPro 8 or something like that. I wasn't trying to put a whole bunch of money into this. Like I said, I'm signing my first year. I'm not making a dime yet until I get 1,000 subscribers. Guys, please subscribe.
Get over 666 if you still have that. Please subscribe now so he gets over 666.
Please,
it's the mark of the beast, and most people don't like that. So please subscribe or don't unsubscribe into that. Get it to 1,000.
But eventually, I'm gonna upgrade. I'm upgrading slowly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Slowly, and like using StreamYard now. So like,
I really like this service, dude. This is really nice compared to like I was on maybe one or two other podcasts. This has been super easy. Like this is amazing. Like join in. Like you sent it to the phone, and I was like, oh, you know what? I actually can do this in the studio. Now all I did was airdropped it to myself to the computer and went doop 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 right.
You're right in.
I was right in
the waiting room. I did a hit, boom, send you StreamYard. I was using fucking Skype before this. I still use Skype for some people who don't want to use this.
Yeah.
But, Skype. So what the thing is, my issue with Skype is, you get this fucking weird feedback on the other person's end. But I won't know.
It's an audio or is it a video visual thing?
It's an audio echo thing. But I won't hear it during the recording, right?
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Like I had that one time. I did a Skype video and it was like, whoa. I heard that back. I'm like, what the fuck is that? It sounds like some weird echo flutter.
I wouldn't hear it during the recording, right? So I'll record the video and then I'll go to get ready to edit.
Yeah.
I'll pop the motherfucker in and that fucking echo is there. And I spent so much fucking money on different kind of echo. By the way, everybody, there's no fucking app or anything that can get an echo out of a fucking video. There's no such thing. There's places that said it. You're wasting your fucking money.
Reverb, yes. Echo, no.
Yes.
I trust me. I agree with you 100%. I've
so many companies out there. Trust me, I went through all of them.
Waves, Isotope, all those are like, yeah, try our program.
Nothing's going to get an echo out of.
No, once that's burned in, man, that's burned in.
It's done. It's done. There's nothing you can do about it. So, but yeah, Skype gets you that fucking echo.
That's so weird.
And like it doesn't happen. It happens maybe 20% of the time.
Yeah.
But at 20 though, and then you got to put a fucking video that's echoing. You don't want to go back to the person like, let's do another fucking hour and a half interview, repeating the same shit we already did. But like Skype, I've had no fuck. I'm not Skype. Shit. StreamYard, it's amazing. Yeah. I'm doing like the little trial thing right now. I'm definitely going to get the main thing because this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I literally signed up for it on the phone, but then as soon as I went in here, I was just like, I'm just gonna set it up with this. Bam, trial instant. I was like, wow, this is pretty easy. Check your microphone. Do this. It's super easy interface. Like it is really, really, really 3 buttons. You can't go wrong.
It is dummy proof. I'm telling you right now. Yeah. I was afraid going in. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna. I did my first live video and I used StreamYard. I was like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be so tough to do. I'm gonna blah, 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 blah. No.
Hit
one button, to add my guess in and then hit record, and it just does its own fucking thing. It even has this. I don't know if you can see it. You can probably see it, but it even has this little Wi-Fi thing. So like, if my guess Wi-Fi is shitty, right, which happens,
Uh-huh.
they bounce off of my Wi-Fi.
That's pretty sweet.
So I
That's-
never, because I've had interviews where people are cutting in and out
Yeah.
in the interviews because they got bad signal. You gotta worry about it with StreamYard. StreamYard. You guys need to give me a free thing right now because I'm advertising for you guys right now for free.
Honestly,
Absolutely amazing.
it's like my first time using StreamYard, and I'm very impressed by it. So yes, I agree with you 100%.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, listen, everybody, look out for a Peekaboo. Also, look out. Also, go ahead and check out Brian Case's Scribble by the Crypt.
Yeah, please go check that. We actually, I don't know if Brad let you know this, but now it's available on Amazon for a download and purchase. Yes,
Yes.
it just happened today, I believe, is what he said. I was like, oh
I
crap,
think I saw
man.
it online. Yeah, I think I saw it online today. But yeah, definitely
Officially
check
went
it out.
live today. That's actually really, really, really fun. That's if you're into anthologies and horrors, yes, please go check that out. We put a lot of love and heart into that. A lot of weird love and heart.
And it's different too. You're not gonna see
Yeah.
nothing else like it. You're not. Gonna
No,
see nothing
no,
else
not
like
at
it.
all. A brainchild of two wild filmmakers, basically. Brad's freaking scripts and his idea of how to go, and then me adding soundtracks and showing the video in different ways. And we kind of put our heads together on that one where it's like, how are you gonna make this sweet? I was just like, oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna shoot it, man. He's like, I'll do some B-roll then. Cool, you do that. I got a boom
Absolutely.
guy. Perfect. And then we
Amazing.
just rocked it
Guys,
out.
definitely check it out. And I can't wait to see Peekaboo. I'm happy back on when that gets wrapped up.
Okay, cool.
Yep. And yes, and also look out in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna be sitting in the dark. Guys.
Yeah, for real. I'm gonna send you them links of all that stuff and a couple C stands. They're not C stands, but light stands and stuff. Really help you out.
Yep. And then I'll be
Cool.
sitting in the dark, and I can be the horror guy sitting in the dark on YouTube.
be
So that I can be authentic.
Welcome
to the horror. Yes, I can be that. That
You can be that guy. Hey man, if that's what you want, man, I'm here to help you. Like I said.
I want to be that asshole, bro. That's
Hey,
what I
you
wanna
know
be.
what? You'd be like, now since I did this, for some reason the assholes came and they gave me 4,000 new likes, but I'm cool with that. Thanks, you assholes.
Hey,
Love you
listen,
guys.
whatever gets the subscribers and likes, listen, I'll be that asshole.
Hey, you know what?
If that's what people want. I
Hey,
mean,
you know what? If that helps you, I'll help you, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for coming to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.